No Boundaries Podcast, Josh Pooh, Q Kelly,
Yes,
Chris
sir.
Joseph Films in the building. And it's only right that we have our part 2 with the infamous
Infamous.
Miss Vashti Hurt.
Vashti, let's go.
Good.
man.
Had to have her back.
Infamous though, I'm infamous.
Infamous.
Hey, look,
You
know what I'm
made some
saying?
bold predictions.
Hey, look, she booming on Twitter too.
What?
The mentions go crazy. I look at it.
They
You
do
feel
a
me?
little
And Instagram.
Exactly.
We're going to get to that later. We gonna get to that later.
She try to break the internet. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, y'all chill, man.
Uh-huh.
Chill.
But now, we're glad to have you back from part 1, our very first show, and now you're back. So thank you again for stopping by.
Yes, thank you.
Now, of course, on part 1, we talked about the Carolina Panthers season right after they made a crazy trade, trading Kelvin Benjamin to the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one that said the Panthers would still make the playoffs and
That's
be
right.
good after the trade. But I want to ask you guys and see, what did you think about the aftermath? Were you at least pleased with what the Panthers did without Kelvin Benjamin? We'll start with you.
I mean, they made the playoffs,
Mhm.
which was good. They could have and probably should have won that game against the Saints. But Cam doesn't have any weapons. And that was very evident and very clear. And I think defenses knew that as well. So you're able to, the run game was stale. You have no receivers. And the offense is basically going to go through Christian McCaffrey if Cam isn't keeping the ball and running it. So opposing defense it makes them really an easy team to plan for. So I was pleased that they finished the season relatively well. I feel like they have a lot of work to do this offseason to try to improve in order to, with the goal of getting back to the Super Bowl. It's just this offseason, honestly, will probably be the biggest for the Panthers with an ownership change, with
New OC.
new offensive coordinator, just new players, draft. Like, this is a pivotal offseason for the Panthers, in my opinion.
And I definitely agree with Vashti. I feel like, and Josh, I tried to tell you, a lot of times with the Panthers, I'm not worried about if they make the playoffs or not. It's about what they do when they get there. And the problem with the Panthers, which, hey, hats off to you. You did say they was going to make the playoffs. Me and Vashti, I know I didn't think they was going to make it. But the problem is, when you get there, talent has to be on that field. And when you come down to it and you get rid of, at the time, your number one receiver, KB, imagine if they had KB when they played the Saints. How much that would have freed up the offense and make the offense more dynamic with Cam have more options to hit. And he didn't have that. And you saw how much they struggled. And then the offense tried to force feed Christian McCaffrey, and it just went down from here. And I think a lot of problems with the Panthers, I'm glad Mike Schuler's out the way. Play calling when it was down on the 20-yard line with 58 seconds left, and the offense stalled out, and every shot they took was to the end zone. You didn't have to do it. You had 58 seconds on the clock, 20 yards to go. You don't have to rush. You got time. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the play calling is not conducive to working towards Cam's strengths. And I think in the offseason, like Vashti said, it's pivotal, that they get some offensive weapons around Cam, and that secondary has to improve because they're putting too much stress on those linebackers. Thomas Davis is on his way out. You look at, a lot of veterans that he got on the defensive line. I mean, they're playing in the best football they can play, but you're putting a lot of stress on those linebackers, and that secondary has not been able to perform to be up to Super Bowl standards. So the Panthers have a lot to do in the offseason. I feel like this is very pivotal to the success of the franchise going forward.
Since the trade of Kelvin Benjamin, the Panthers were 7-1, not including the loss to the Saints. We were one bad call away from winning that game against the Saints, and everybody in this room knows. Everybody here in this room knows that was not intentional grounding.
First of all, Cam had max protection. And me and Damo sit there and watch the game.
He should have rolled out.
He should have rolled out.
You right.
You have max protection. Why would you sit there and stay inside the pocket when you have max protection? Roll out the pocket. Not once on that drive did Cam use his feet to get a first down.
But think about
Why?
Because of what
they rushed forward and dropped 7, which they saying we're daring Cam to throw the ball. Right. We're daring him. So if you drop 7, Cam had options to take off with it to get some positive yards. He did not do that. And it's like pivotal time that he needs to use his feet, he doesn't do it. And also as well his mechanics. He had a chance to throw a touchdown in the goal and when it was in the red zone. And due to his mechanics not being there, he's not following through with his throws. Guess what? It was underthrown.
And
so
you're right. I agree with you that the same mechanics that got him to the Super Bowl, he still needed to work on. You're right. I agree with you that he was inaccurate.
Yeah.
I agree with you also that at the same time, Christian McCaffrey was being force-fed. But remember, Christian McCaffrey being force-fed was how we got back into the game against the Saints. True or false?
It's true. But when Kalen Clay and Brent Burson is on the field in the playoffs, that's a problem.
Let's be real.
Let's be real.
Curtis Samuel got hurt.
Okay.
He was out for the season.
But that comes down to getting rid of talent. And guess what? If you're going to get rid of KB, who you get in return for?
They didn't. Burson.
Can you win? Now, Vashti, would Brent Burson or Kalen Clay start on any NFL team?
No.
No.
Now, if I ask you the same thing about Philly Brown and Ted Ginn,
we're not talking about Philly.
They made the Super Bowl.
First of all, was that defense better in 2015?
Yeah.
Okay. Was the running game better in 2015?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it took a lot of pressure off of Cam and that receivers. When you have a great defense, aka you have a Josh Norman, a better, to me, defensive line, defensive front, and you have better running backs and a better running game, offensive line at that.
It was the system.
But I think also that the difference between that 2015 team, and you can talk about Ginn or Philly, but that team had big playability.
That's it. Downfield.
And that's it. Like you have a big play threat, a downfield threat, that changes the whole complexity of the game. Carolina did not have that, and everybody knew it.
That's it.
As far as Christian McCaffrey, the biggest play of the game, right?
Yeah, that was an awesome play made by him.
Awesome play. Curtis Samuel got hurt. I feel like that affected that team. He was a big play. He was a big play when he basically filled the void of Philly Brown. True or false?
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't really see that much.
You didn't see that from him. He didn't really play in the preseason.
Yeah.
And then what plays did he really make in the regular season?
Injuries affected that. But when he was hot, he was hot. He did his thing when he was in the game.
I feel like the GMs for the Carolina Panthers have done a horrible job with the roster. A horrible job. Even since 2015, you getting rid of Josh Norman. I mean, you getting rid of different pivotal pieces that got you to where you was at and the success that you've had. The only person I say from that 2015 team that should not have been there, everybody know Mike Tober. To me, I don't think he should be in the league because he's just not effective. But Ted Ginn was a great guy, even though he wasn't sure-handed, big playability. Yep. What receiver on the Carolina Panthers had big playability?
Nobody other than Devin Funchess.
How do you expect to win the Super Bowl?
Devin Funchess had games when he went off against Detroit, against New England.
But he's not going to stretch the defense. He's not going to.
You're right.
He's not going to.
Okay.
That was my whole point. He was the same player as Kelvin Benjamin. Think about that. But Kelvin Benjamin, you had to pay more for.
Think
Why
about
not
it.
Get rid of him?
If I'm a defensive coordinator and I know I got to defend Kelvin Benjamin on this side, Devin Funchess on this side, Greg Olsen, Christian McCaffrey, that's hard. When you get in the red zone, hey, pick your poison.
But that's the problem. When do we ever have all of those guys you named at once? Olsen was out for how many?
And whose fault is that? No, you due to injury, but a lot of times Mike Shula didn't put those guys in the right position as far as personnel packages, play calling. You can even look at the game and look at what is this man doing. You knew when Carolina was going to run the ball.
Right.
You knew it was going to be play action. You knew it was going to be read option. You can, if I'm a person watching TV and I could tell what play's coming next, that's a problem.
You're right. Did Shula need to go? Yes. But did his play calling get us to a 2015 Super Bowl appearance? Yes.
No.
I feel like they need to stop it.
No. They had the players that execute big playability, a better running game, a better offensive line, a better defense, a better secondary.
You do realize it's Shula that put that offense around Cam. You do realize he's the mastermind around that.
He's not a mastermind. Don't call that man a mastermind.
Stop it.
He's not. He don't deserve that
talent. He was
talent.
getting all the praise when we made the Super Bowl, but then all of a sudden,
I don't remember anybody.
I don't remember nobody saying Mike Shula's having one of the best offensive coordinators in the league.
Yeah.
Cam
had an MVP
hit his
season.
peak. Cam had an MVP season. That was arguably the top 3 defense in the league at the time.
Yeah, not
how many Pro Bowlers did they have on that defense?
11. Oh,
on the defense,
probably like what 6?
6 Pro Bowlers on defense. Offensive line, I think had 2 Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
You had Jonathan Stewart. Mike Tober was playing at the peak of his game at the time. You had a lot of pieces around him that can make things happen. You didn't have that with his team.
You had a secondary that got turnovers and
with
put
dogs.
So Shula gets no credit.
No.
I mean,
I don't
not
know.
really.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
He's horrible. Let me tell you
Stop.
something. If you're a coach and the only time you can actually win or perform in big games, in the NFL, I don't really look at the regular season like that because it's what you do in the playoffs. It's what you do. And every time I tell you, the problem with Carolina, they're not built to win a lot of times in the playoffs. Why? Because they're so predictable. They're predictable all the time.
You're not gonna blame Cam's inaccuracy. At times when Greg Olsen's wide open and Cam is 6'6" throwing 3 yards over Greg Olsen's head.
And I understand that as well, but at the same time, whose fault is that? Is Cam still struggling with accuracy?
That's not on Shula. Cam got to work. Come on now.
Cam got to work on the step, but at the same time, you know your quarterback's strength and weaknesses. You know him, so you got to work towards his ability.
So every play is gonna be a QB draw. That's what you're trying to say.
I'm not saying that, but at the same time, you run a lot of plays. Like the Panthers like to run a lot of seam routes as well. Okay, in the red zone, sometimes it doesn't make sense to run a seam when a lot of people gonna run cover 2. Like I said, and with the Saints defense, with a good pass rush that they have, Cam doesn't have a lot of time to sit back there and throw the ball. You got to get the ball out quickly. Cam is better when it's short passing, get the ball out quick, hurry up offense. They're running the ball effective, read option, dump passes to the tight end. That's when they're the most effective.
Yeah.
Not when Cam's sitting back there for 5 seconds trying to look downfield, hoping he get a post route. That's not smart.
Under Shula's reign, 4 playoff appearances, including the Super Bowl appearance, and 3 NFC South division championships. And y'all just gonna throw away that credit and say, "Oh, he sucked."
It gets to a point.
Moments. He had his moments where he was good.
I'm not saying that he sucked. I'm saying that his play calling was stale and predictable.
Exactly.
And so when people don't know that your play calling is stale and predictable, then yeah, you can switch things up. But at some point, after 2 years of you doing the same stuff, 3 years of you doing the same stuff, then it's like, okay, it's not as effective.
Do you believe Dorsey should have been fired too? The
Yes,
coach?
he got to go. Cam has not even his accuracy 5 years, 5, 6, 7 years in the league, and he still continues to show signs of not being accurate. And this guy has MVP potential every year, I feel like. I mean, just a physical specimen, a great player, a great leader as well. He should be able to throw in the pocket. Not only that, it gets high school kids out there sometimes with better accuracy. And it's sad. Mechanics are horrible. If Cam wasn't that big and strong physically, some of those passes that he would not make those.
Let me ask y'all something. If you had to point the blame at the disappointing ending to the season, and percentage-wise, whether it's 100% on Shula, 10% on Rivera, 90% Cam, whatever you want to split it up. I'm going to start with you, Vashti. How would you split up the blame for the disappointment this season?
That's tough because I mean, it's a team sport. So I can't say, okay, this person was weaker than that person. As a unit, they didn't get the job done. And it's embarrassing to lose to a team 3 times in the same season.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. And then the Saints at that, like a division opponent. Like it's embarrassing. So I think that Rivera, to me, he's a bit of a weak coach.
Wow.
He's not as strong to me. He's not as strong as I would like to see him be. I think Cam obviously had some issues with accuracy. I think that the offensive line had some issues. Defense didn't get as much push or pressure on Breeze as they needed to.
Right.
There were, I don't even know if were there any turnovers? Did they have any?
They had a pick. I think it was a pick
with Mike Adams.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 pick, but it's just nobody really did the job that they were supposed to do. And the thing is, they were still in the game. They could have still won that game.
Still won.
And essentially, they didn't play the best game.
Expand on that, though. You said he's a weak coach or he's not as strong as you would like him to be. We're talking about Riverboat Ron.
Yeah, I'm not convinced with that Riverboat stuff. I mean, I think
I don't see no gambling around
Yeah,
here.
I think that's what the media put that out there. I think he's safe.
Generic.
He's safe. I mean, he's not going to press any buttons. He's not going to ruffle any feathers. He's a safe coach. And, I'm not, I don't know. If you look at these Super Bowl winning coaches, a lot of them aren't really safe. You gotta press you gotta have a little swag to you. Rivera doesn't have any swag to him.
Let me ask you this. with this offseason being the most important we've ever seen in Carolina history, what would be the perfect thing in your mind, in Vashti's mind, for Carolina to happen? Of course, we already got the OC, North Turner's there. I know you probably don't approve of that.
Well, I don't disapprove. I got to give him a chance.
Give him a chance, right?
I gotta give him a chance.
Respect. As far as the ownership, and I know Diddy's name about to come up, what would you like to see happen with the Panthers ownership? And let me ask you this also, the stadium, as far as new stadium locations.
I mean, I think the stadium needs to be uptown. That stadium is not that old.
Mm-hmm.
They just put, I don't know, however amount of millions of dollars
They did.
to make the little subtle upgrades that they made. I know the thing now is to have a dome and all of that stuff, but I think that it's time to have a black owner in the NFL. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the owners see the need to have black representation around that table. Now, do they want that? No, I don't think so. But would it be a good PR move for the league? And yeah, I think so. I mean, there's no way you have a team that is made up of 70% black men and not one black person at the owner's table. Matter of fact, in either league, Michael Jordan is the only one.
That's it.
And he's the GOAT. So that's the standard that they are holding us to
Right.
in order for ownership in professional leagues. I don't think that that's right. So, yeah, I think I would not be surprised if there was some type of maybe a black owner. I don't know. It's not going to be Diddy, okay?
Yeah,
Diddy
that's
is
not.
listen,
That's
guys.
far-fetched. Yeah, that's so far-fetched.
Listen, guys, Diddy is not going to be the owner of the Carolina Panthers. I know it seems fine. He's not going to – they're not going to approve that. Like, that video, what really messed him up was that video.
That's it.
Right, exactly.
Our halftime's going to be good, and
Yeah.
I'm going to bring in Colin Kaepernick, and he's going to compete with Cam. And I was like,
Pump the
dude,
brakes right then.
chill.
Stop it.
Like, really? So at that point, I stopped taking them seriously, and I think a lot of people did also. But there are some people, who could probably step up to the table, who have cake, who could be an owner in the NFL, but I think it's time for that. So that, I want to see black ownership. I want to see the team improve.
Right.
Basically. So, there's so many areas. You got to get, the run game. I know they just drafted Christian McCaffrey, but if you look at, Carolina excels when they have downhill runners, and Christian is not running through tackles. He's just not doing that. So they need a downhill runner. They need our safeties are old and slow. They need a receiver. They still can work on the right side of that line.
Maybe need a backup. Well, they got some good backup linebackers, so I think they should be covered at that position.
Yeah. So it's just this off season is gonna be very interesting.
I agree with you. I think for one, as far as the stadium, hear me out now. I know it brings a lot of money towards downtown, but let's be real. If the city of Charlotte ever wants to bring a Super Bowl to this area, they're gonna have to make a new stadium, retractable roof. I understand everybody's doing a dome, but a retractable roof, just like Houston, and they're gonna have to put it in an area where they can get good parking, and that's gonna be either the Fort Mill area or Steel Creek area, where my mom just bought a new house. I'm telling you.
I feel like that's gonna take away so much business.
It's
nothing.
But at the end of the day, think about Glendale, Arizona, for what it does for Phoenix. East Rutherford, New Jersey, what they do for the Giants in the city of New York. There's a lot of teams that do that. Even the Redskins don't play in D.C.
That's true.
So, at the end of the day, you got to compete. You want to play with the big dogs, you're going to have to up your game and compete. Not only that, I think it needs to be a local owner that takes over the team, whether the Levine family or the Belt family, because I want to see my team stay in Carolina. I'm going to be real with y'all black folk. I might sound like a coon, but Diddy don't give a... He don't care.
He don't care.
If he thinks he can make more money taking it to damn North Dakota, he gonna do it.
He gonna do
what
it.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I want to see it stay locally owned, whether Levine family, Belt family, or even...
I never thought about those families.
You know what I'm saying? They already had stake as minority owners.
Yeah, they did.
But now they can become majority owners. So I would like to see that. And then, of course, me personally, I want to see us get a dynamic receiver, Calvin Ridley, Alabama. I think he's the perfect fit. I know you have your things against him or whatever.
No, he can ball. I feel like that would be a great fit for Carolina. He can stretch the the defense as well. He's fast, explosive. He got sure hands. I think that'd be an awesome pick for Carolina. I just really think in the draft, Carolina really doesn't do well for some reason. And honestly, in my opinion, they should have got Dalvin Cook in the first round because I feel like he's more of a dynamic running back. You could have used him out the backfield catching, but he's also between the tackles and, like I said, he has home run abilities.
Right.
And that's what Carolina really missed in the run game, home run abilities.
Yeah.
And, they missed a lot of opportunities in the run game doing that. Also, like Vashti said, those safeties are old. I mean, Kurt Coleman, Mike Adams, Captain Mutherland, those guys are like, man, they ancient. And it tells on them a lot of plays when it's down the field and they got to cover. Every time they have to play Julio or a dynamic receiver, it doesn't go well.
Ted Ginn blew past him in that play.
Oh, my gosh. It made me think.
Ted Ginn, just as old as they are.
Just as old as they are.
Yeah,
and he's flying. But that's a problem with Carolina, and I feel like they don't address things until it gets this bad. Feel like
you think Jonathan Stewart should go though.
He got to go. I love Jonathan Stewart, true enough, but his time is up. Like he hasn't been productive. I feel like he's not a home run hitter in this league right now. Look at all the top teams right now. Le'Veon Bell, he's a home run hitter as well as between the tackles, catch out the backfield. I mean, you look at Alvin Kamara, what he does for the Saints. He's balling. You feel me? And all the teams that have Deion Lewis for the Patriots, all these guys have dynamic abilities, but they can also run between those tackles, and they're explosive. I feel like Jonathan Stewart, his style of running is it's trending out in the league, And I feel like now you look at the league, you got to have some guys that can hit that hole fast. And then, and then take it the distance. So Carolina really needs to work on their offense. I think, Kelvin really would be great. You can definitely get a great running back in the third, maybe fourth round.
Right, exactly.
And just work from there. And I think on defense, it blows my mind. And honestly, I was saying for the defensive coordinator to go too as well.
Steve Wilkes?
I don't like the scheme that they play. They play a lot of cover 3. And we play great. I'm gonna break it down. We play great quarterbacks. Cover 3 is one of the worst things you can play because it's so many holes that the wide receivers can sink into. And like I said, if you don't have a great secondary like Carolina does, it doesn't work well with you. If you got a great defensive line, the best thing is to man up. And guess what? Hey, you hope that your defensive line get the pass rush, small windows of opportunity for the quarterback to throw through. And guess what? You'll live and die by that. But cover 3, and it's too much pressure on those linebackers, and the secondary is not good enough to play within that scheme.
I do agree that Steve Wilkes might be gone, but not being forced out. I think he might get a head coaching job pretty soon.
He just got to go, man. I just feel like that style of play, like when you have a Josh Norman on your defense, you can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can play that, and you got to have a dominant corner that can shut one side of the field down if you're going to run cover 3.
I think Bradbury has another year before that, though.
No.
Come on, don't disrespect him. Like, don't disrespect that man like that.
No.
You think he?
I don't think
he had a decent campaign.
Year.
His year this year wasn't what most people expected it to be.
He
but
did
you gotta
better.
give him at least one more year.
One more year.
I'm gonna give him one more year, but I feel like he just don't got that it factor. And in the corner, I feel like look at all the top corners in the league. They're very verbal, and now that they're aggressive. James Bradbury is not aggressive in run defense at all.
He's a good tackler. He's a good tackler.
He's not aggressive though.
See, you want everybody to be Jalen Ramsey.
But see, no, it's not even that.
Don't do that.
It's not even that. No, hey, look, you got to look at it. In run defense, do you trust him to come up and make a big play?
Yeah.
No.
I trust him. He's physical enough to make a big play.
I don't feel like he's physical enough.
Not everybody can be a Jalen Ramsey.
Everybody can't be a Jalen Ramsey, but at the same time, you still can have an aggressive physical mindset. You may not have a body frame, but if you got a mindset that's aggressive, you can get away with it.
So you like your DBs to talk like Deion Sanders, to talk that shit like
You don't even gotta talk. It's just your demeanor about stuff, and it's gonna show out on the field. You could be the quietest guy on the field, but your demeanor shows, hey, you gonna lay that wood, somebody come your way.
I will agree with that.
And he don't got it. It's like he out there like
corners typically have this cockiness about
he
them.
don't got it. It's like he's so unsure of his abilities on the field, and you can see, okay, I'm gonna make sure my technique is right. I want to make sure I cover in space. But when it comes to making plays, he's not there. That's why Carolina lacked a lot in getting turnovers, because a lot of those guys didn't make those necessary plays in the back end.
Thomas Davis announced that next year will be his last year. Now I know that obviously is going to be a whole.
It's time.
It's time.
What about? I mean,
Yeah,
dang,
he had
man.
a great. He's having
Listen,
a great career.
Thomas Davis knows that it's time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Thomas Davis doesn't want to get cut.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That does your ego.
So
Yeah.
instead of maybe being on the chopping block, maybe he might not have been on the chopping block after this season, but he definitely knows after next season, it's time.
Yeah.
So he made a smart decision by announcing his future retirement as opposed to getting cut.
Do you want Pep to come back for another year?
You know, I don't know what Pep is drinking, okay?
Mm.
But I need several gallons.
Word.
Like,
He's still going.
what?
You know?
11 sacks.
I don't
I feel like,
know.
and you know the crazy thing, I feel like in the Saints game, which he played too many downs, and it showed
He played-
towards
he
the
did
end of the
play a lot.
game. And I feel like when you just have him play a certain amount of snaps where he's fresh throughout the game, it works so much better for the Carolinas defense.
You know why? You know why? Because it's time for Charles Johnson to go. To be honest with
I think that he's and I think he knows it also.
you.
Yeah.
Like I really I think he knows that, you know, guys know when their time is subsiding, when
Right.
it's when they may have 1 year or 2 years left. I wouldn't be surprised if this was it as far as if Charles Johnson is not done this off season. So yeah, I mean that line is gonna be different. We got free agent.
Oh, Andrew Norwell?
No, tackle.
Trey Turner guard, right? Correct, yeah.
No, I'm talking on the defensive line.
Oh, Quan Short.
No, he's signed on.
Star.
Star, isn't he a free agent?
I believe he is.
Yeah.
But
He's a free agent,
yeah.
and they may not have enough money to pay him.
I don't think he is. I don't think they have enough money to pay him.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
then
Him and
it's gonna
Keywan,
be
like,
it's gonna be a lot of you know
Question mark.
changes on that defensive line, and I don't know. I don't.
Right, and Vernon Butler hasn't been living up to expectations
Mhm.
himself.
Not
so
at all.
Right now, I guess the only constant is, of course, like you said, Julius Peppers and Mario Addison.
and that,
Really.
and that linebacker core, and
Right. When you got Keith
Those-
Short,
Short just signed a contract.
Oh, yeah, Short.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And,
Yeah.
KK
Yeah.
Short.
I feel
like
like
you
that
said-
linebacker core is holding this Carolina Panthers defense.
Oh,
Even the backups, I mean, they studs on
Yup.
special teams.
yeah.
And it's crazy because when Thomas Davis is out or Luke Kuechly has a concussion, those guys step in. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you won't miss a beat, you know.
Yup.
So it's definitely a plus for the Carolina Panthers defense.
This last question about the Panthers. Do you feel that Cam Newton is on the decline of his career?
Y'all coming to me first?
Oh, yeah, you got
Yeah, you got
first.
you
I
first.
mean, I don't know. Quarterbacks can play so long,
Mhm.
at a relatively high level. I'm not gonna say Cam tapped out in 2015. I don't want to say that. I think he has a lot left in the tank. I'm not ready to say, like, I have to see another year of, like, dang, Cam, like, what is up
What's
with
going
you
on?
Right.
before I start saying this dude really just peaked in 2015 and that's it. He shows flashes. I want to see him with a different offensive coordinator and see how he
That's true.
thrives,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because good quarterbacks are all about the system that they're in.
That's right.
That's
So
right.
if Norv Turner has a good system that it suits Cam Newton, like, they could have a hell of a season next
Facts.
year.
Big facts.
So I gotta at least see him under a different system with a different offensive coordinator. I don't know who he's gonna bring in as quarterback coach, but I need to give him a chance before I say, okay, like, Cam is on the way to being washed.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Physically, I feel like Cam is in there. Mentally, at times,
Yup.
during
It is mental.
high stakes games, I swear it feel like Cam check out. I mean, if you look during the playoffs, matter of fact, regular season, Cam going crazy, giving the ball to people, flying around, having fun jokes, and it's like once it's a high stake game, it turns to happy Cam to like just mellowed out. It's like so much uncertainty, and I feel like mentally he checks out a lot of games. I don't know why. It's like when he gets off to a bad start in the playoff, he can check out of the game. And also as well, I really do think what will help the Carolina Panthers offense if they get a young guy in there like a Calvin Ridley that can give a spark plug back to this offense, and Norv Turner. If Norv can work to his Cam's strengths and the offensive strength, and they get some young guys in there with some spark, not only that can, they talk that talk as well, and not just, everybody knows you can have some guys on the team that lead by example on the field. That's great. We love that. But you need somebody that's going to, you know what I'm saying, be some dogs out there verbally. And, you know, it helped, you know, because Cam's getting to the, you know, the later part of his career, so he can't be that verbal, you know, voice all the time. So I think they need to get some young guys in there that's some dogs that's going to talk that talk, you know, on the field. You know,
like I said, Calvin Ridley, or if they go in free agency, I heard Jarvis Landry's on the market. So
yeah,
imagine Cam with Jarvis.
Yeah,
good.
That'd be great.
But you know, tomorrow's college basketball. We got big games. Now, the first show, of course, everybody's preseason favorite, except for mine.
Yeah,
the Duke Blue Devils.
Mm-hmm.
You guys said they were gonna have a great year.
Are they not?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're having an awesome year.
A good year.
They're having an awesome year right now.
Marvin Bagley,
official.
I give credit when credit's due.
Yeah, he a dog.
He a dog.
Okay.
He going in.
Yeah.
He going in like he never left. But
here we go.
But the ACC has proven to be tougher than what people thought this
yeah,
year.
It's deep. It's deep this year.
It's hard
college basketball in general
is
tough.
Yeah.
That's a fact. What has been your take so far? Whether you have a sleeper team, your favorite still, now that we're kind of at the midway point or beginning conference play, and you know your player of the year so far.
I mean, when you have Boston College beating a team like Duke, I mean, stuff is just wide open. Or North Carolina, who did they get beaten by? Wofford.
Yeah.
They got beaten in ACC play by somebody that they shouldn't have lost to.
Florida State.
Oh no, we was actually favored.
Don't do that.
We were
Don't
favored.
do
Don't play us. Don't disrespect us like that. Don't disrespect us. We were favored. We were favored. Ask my brother. We were favored by 1 point.
On the road at Florida State. We were playing on the road.
And who was the favorite of this game?
Y'all favored by 1 point.
Okay.
But we weren't supposed to. We still not.
So if we beat y'all, guess what? We were supposed to beat y'all then.
No.
All right then.
No, we're the Carolina basketball. And
I'm not worried about all that.
3 out of 4 games. Don't do that.
We're not talking about that. We talking about who did Carolina lose to? Who did Carolina lose to in AC?
Who lost Florida State?
And who else?
Who else? Oh, Virginia.
Okay then.
Number 9, Virginia.
Okay, great. So there's 2 teams that you were supposed to lose to.
No, one team we were supposed to lose to. Look, y'all lost 3 out of 4 games.
It's the ACC. It's gonna be tough.
Now
it happens.
The ACC is supposed to be tough.
If you look at it right now, I guarantee the ACC, if the tournament started today, they have 10 teams in the tournament. I believe.
I agree.
I believe 10 teams. Wait till Notre Dame gets Bonzi Coles, and I forgot the other kid name, the guard that they have. Wait, you know, Clemson's playing great basketball right now. Boston College is playing out their world. Only team I feel like is really disappointing in ACC right now is Wake Forest. They really, you know what I'm saying, they had some guys on the team I feel like they can make something happen, but they're disappointment. But other than that, the ACC, each night you can lose. Miami is playing great ball right now.
Yeah.
I mean, so it really can go either way. But I really think Duke is the best team in the ACC right now. I mean, when you mix talent,
you mad over that?
Youth,
and you gotta admit it though.
Listen,
I know you don't want to, but you gotta admit that.
We mix that talent, youth, and experience together with the best coach in college basketball. It's hard beating that.
Come on,
it's hard.
Come on.
The same. What they say? We singing the same old love song.
How?
Duke, same thing with Duke and Kentucky. You bring in all these All-American, freshman All-Americans. What happens? You get lucky once in a while, like Duke did 2015. Kentucky,
and this team reminds me of the 2015 team.
Stop it.
It does in ways.
So this team is as good as that 2015 team.
I don't know if it's just as talented in ways. I really do. And like I said, if Grayson Allen gets back to playing that dominant basketball that he was playing 2 years ago, and with those young guys gelling, I forgot the young guard that Duke has right now, number 1. Oh man,
Trayvon Duval,
and he goes straight to the cup, strong with it. And once his shot starts to develop, and he gets that confidence, and they get those wings playing like they're supposed to, and the 2 bigs inside for Duke, the young boys, man,
I can't. Carter and Bagley,
they can bang, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
They don't even really run a lot of plays for Carter, and people are talking about Bagley because Bagley is just. I mean, he giving you 25 and 10 or 15 or 30 and 20. But Wendell Carter is like, they don't run plays for him at all. Like, he just goes to the glass. He's blocking shots. He'll give you 15 and 10, and you just like, and he didn't even have any plays run for him.
Exactly.
Like, this Duke team is nice.
It's nice. Now, granted, I love the way Carolina is finishing tough games right now. They went on a stretch where they were losing games they shouldn't have won. If you would say Florida State is a game they should have won. But once they turned it around, they're winning tough games away, which is hard to do in the ACC. And I feel like right now with this Carolina team, Joel Berry is playing like the senior he should be playing at. The problem I have with Carolina right now, they're a little bit undersized, and I feel like they supporting pieces are a little bit inconsistent right now to call them the best team in the ACC.
The disrespect I hear day in and day out about Carolina basketball.
Don't be biased. Don't be biased. Don't be
Carolina
biased.
fans are
Biased.
Are upset with Carolina.
Carolina right now.
Come on.
This is my beef with you. Once I seen your blog where you said Lil Uzi Vert is Christian McCaffrey, I let it go. I let it go.
This boy say he can't do
you
it
didn't
again.
like that.
But when I seen Carolina Blitz, I see on your Twitter, on your Instagram,
Oh, here we go.
and on the website. When
Yes.
Carolina lose, when UNC loses to Wofford or upset get anybody, I see it everywhere. But when Duke lost to Boston College,
I talked about that.
where?
I talked about that. Because as a matter
She
of
said
fact,
she tweeted a couple
I
times.
talked about it. I didn't write an article about it. I didn't write an
Feelings
article.
were hurt, boy.
I didn't write an article about Carolina either.
I didn't see no tweets about Duke losing to Boston College.
I did definitely tweeted about that.
How much you want to bet?
Because the crazy thing is, run it back. Because the crazy thing is, before they lost to Boston College, I was thinking about writing an article I knew it was going to happen. But honestly.
You knew they was going to lose to Boston College?
No, I knew.
Oh.
But my article was like, could this Duke team really go undefeated? Now, in my article, no. But as good as that team was and as good as they were playing, I could have made a plausible argument for it. Then they go and lose to Boston College.
You don't really think they're the favorites to win the national championship, do you?
They're going to go to the Final Four. Is Carolina going? With Luke May as their leader?
Hey, look.
What?
Luke May senior year, he's going to be National Player of the Year. Everybody's already saying that, first of all.
Are we done?
No, you know what the
Are we
crazy?
done?
I'm gonna keep it a band.
Are we done?
Don't disrespect her.
No, I'm gonna keep it a band with you. He will be a top 5
Oh,
player in
my
college basketball next year. He will,
God.
because he's a double machine. He's a poor man's Kevin
Thank
Love.
you. Why are you disrespecting
I
him
am.
like
I'm
that?
not gonna lie to
20
you.
points, 10 rebounds, that's not good enough. But when Marvin Bagley put up 20 and 10, it's a whole different story.
It's a different kind of 20 and 10.
Why? Oh, yeah, you're right, because Luke May hitting threes, too. He can do it on the outside. True or
Oh,
false?
my
That's
God.
facts.
That's a
facts.
fact. Wow, you hate white players. And you a Duke fan. And you a Duke fan. And she a Duke fan.
I can't believe you
She
said
said
that.
they started getting brothers 4 years ago. Dude just started getting brothers 4 years
No,
ago.
that's not
Wow.
true. What I'm saying, I'm just not convinced with Luke May. I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
He's an awesome rebounder,
Thank you.
finisher at the cup. Can run pick and roll, awesome. Only thing, and I ain't gonna lie, I was thinking about the defense he's played. He can come out on the perimeter.
Thank you.
He's not the most athletic guy, but he's
that.
so fundamentally sound
Thank you.
that it covers for a lot. But what's gonna get him once he plays teams that have guys that got way more talent than him, it's
and
gonna
are
show.
athletic.
And athletic is gonna
Come
show.
on, man.
It's gonna show. It's gonna show.
Am I sitting here saying that he's going to be an NBA prospect? No, of course not.
But to say
he's
that-
a great 4-year college player doing what he's supposed to do for
Yeah.
Roy Williams. 20 points, 10 rebounds. In
But
the
that
game.
scares me because
That's what you're
he's
supposed to do.
he's your number one offensive option,
As of right now.
and that's scary for
but
Carolina.
but in the clutch,
When you
we
think
know Joel Berry's taking the last
when you
shot.
think
The
a
problem-
non-scholarship player, walk on is your number one score option at Carolina, that's a problem.
That's a definite problem.
That's a problem.
And let's be real. Carolina has they let Clemson back in that game.
Yeah.
They struggle. And I remember I'm trying to remember what game I watched the other day. They had really, they got saved, but they had nobody to go to with the ball at the end of the game.
So Joel Berry is a clutch?
Joel, yeah, I tell you what, that's one guy. Yeah, he can.
Be
I think he
clutch.
is. He is.
He can be clutch. But oftentimes, he might step back and shoot a 3 when he should really be driving to the basket. I don't like his offensive decisions all the time. And if you only got one player, then what are they going to do? They're going to double him.
Yeah.
And there's nobody else that they could go to make a play.
We have great role players on that team.
Great. You
Great role players.
reaching.
Kenny
No.
Williams is a great 3-and-D player
Oh.
right now.
Kenny
For UNC.
Williams is playing well.
3-and-D, and he's a veteran.
He's
That's what
playing
we
well.
need.
He's playing well.
Leadership.
Outside of that.
Jaleel Felton comes off the bench. Gives
Goodbye.
us a
No.
Goodbye.
No.
Goodbye.
Hey,
Are you serious right now?
you had me going. I was with you until
Are
you
you
put up
serious
Jaleel.
right now?
Hey, I was right there with you,
Felton
brother.
is good, but he's not really getting
He's not
that
there
much
yet.
burn.
He's not there
He
yet.
comes in and does what we want him to do.
What is that?
Great defense locked down. He's a better defender than Joel Berry. Hands down. Stop it. He's a better defender.
Man, look, let me tell you something.
He's not a better defender than Joel Berry?
He is. I think he is, but at the same time, the problem with Carolina is you're going to get by in the ACC doing that. And tournament time, when you turn up the heat and Luke May is your number one scorer option, it's going to be scary for Carolina. And I looked at Florida State. Florida State is not a fundamentally sound. Florida State is not a fundamentally sound team, but we damn near ran y'all off the court until y'all came back. And Luke May did not have a good game when he was playing athletic players.
And what'd you say? We came back because we're still a well-sound Carolina Roy Williams.
Great, but that's all good and dandy. But what I'm saying is once you get to tournament time, if you don't have talent and you don't have pieces around you that can score besides Luke May and Joel Berry, it's going to be trouble. Theo has not played up to the potential he's supposed to offensively. I feel like he's a great rebounder and assister, and he can run the floor. But at the same time, who's that third definite score option for this team?
Do it by committee. We've done it before.
It's not going to work.
I don't see why it's such a problem. We've done it
That's
before.
not going to work.
What committee?
Garrison Brooks.
I ain't never heard of
the transfer Cam Johnson for Pittsburgh. Go ahead and lie and say he's not doing a great job right now. 21 points, 10 rebounds against Clemson.
Johnson is playing well.
Thank you. And he just came back off that neck injury.
But I mean, he's had a couple of good games.
Carolina don't flash at you, man.
But
they don't flash at you.
When have we ever?
No. Last year y'all flashed. Y'all was supposed to win last year. The year before last, y'all was the best team.
But we weren't flashy.
Yes, y'all.
Carolina was a flashy team.
No, flash at you. When I look at Carolina basketball, I look at them.
You mean
they lack talent badly, and that's sad to say about the Carolina basketball team. They lack talent, a lot of talent. I look at this team. Y'all had to go small ball because y'all don't have enough players to go out there and play efficiently, and y'all don't have the talent.
Are you serious right now? Garrison Brooks, a 4-star recruit, came in.
That's not good enough for y'all.
That's not talent.
I'm looking
Sterling
at
Manley, a 4-star recruit. That's not talent.
Okay, Josh, tell me this: do you think y'all gonna win the ACC this year?
You said what?
Do you think y'all gonna win the ACC regular season?
Hey, look. We are one of the best ACC
I'm not asking. No,
right
listen. I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, do you think y'all will win the ACC this year?
As a fan, yes.
No.
Come on, we
Stop
not
being
fans
biased
right now.
Stop being biased. Do you think they're going to win the ACC?
I think they're great ACC contenders. Will they probably win it? No, I think UVA.
UVA will win it. Okay. Now stop. Now we're going to go to the NCAA tournament. In the NCAA tournament, what is the ceiling for this Carolina team?
I told you, Elite 8 or better.
Elite 8 or better.
Stop. Elite 8.
You smoking.
Carolina.
You smoking.
Really smoking.
Y'all do realize the same Carolina team beat number 20 Clemson, beat Stanford and Stanford. Ohio State team that beat number 1 Michigan State.
Ohio State won't even rank. They just got ranked.
But they beat number
and
1.
I know this man ain't just bring up Stanford.
But
like
they beat number 1. They beat number 1 Michigan State.
Josh.
They beat number 1 Michigan State.
Josh, you
Stanford.
tripping.
Look.
Number 20 Tennessee in Tennessee. Oh, okay. Oh, y'all got quiet, huh?
Are you serious?
This boy bringing
it. They got quiet, huh?
Don't bring up SEC team.
SEC.
Besides Kentucky, don't bring up an SEC team around me.
So Tennessee's not a good basketball program.
SEC.
Wow, the same dude that brings up ACC football. Now you don't want to bring SEC basketball into.
That don't make sense. That's not even logical.
SEC.
That's not even logical right now. What he's saying.
So when you talk about SEC football, now we can't talk about SEC basketball.
Josh, besides Kentucky, name 4 quality SEC basketball programs.
Stop it. Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, they hot right now. Stop. No, you don't know college basketball. They hot right now.
Because they're playing a bunch of sorry teams in the SEC.
Wow, so now they
Stop.
Now they trash. So now Alabama's trash.
They're even their pre-league play. They're not playing tough teams.
They're not playing tough teams.
Watch what they do to Kentucky. Watch what they do to Kentucky.
Of course, Kentucky gonna drop. They're not really all that hot this year.
Right, this year.
So if a team's ranked top 25, I guess we just gonna throw away the ranking, huh? So if we beat number 20, see, it's funny. If Duke beats number 20 Tennessee, they beat number 20 Tennessee.
No, we're not saying that. We're saying right now.
No.
See, you make excuses for y'all beating subpar teams.
Subpar team? Number 20 Tennessee is a subpar team in Tennessee?
Nobody talks about Tennessee basketball. Okay. You don't hear nobody say Tennessee.
Take away all our quality.
No, I'm just saying. Y'all have not.
It's sad when Carolina folk are bragging about beating Tennessee.
Yeah, asked about our resume.
Stanford.
It's getting sad. It's getting sad when Carolina teams aren't talking about beating top 5 teams.
Kentucky's
We're talking about beating Tennessee.
That's what we played.
That's sad, man.
And that's
I
funny.
wanna see y'all-
And this is how I knew you were hip.
No, hold on.
Florida State beat number 5 Florida, a SEC team. You was going crazy about it. Go ahead
Okay,
and lie
first
on
of all,
podcast
first of
today.
all, Florida was a
Go
great
ahead and lie on
team.
the
We
podcast.
No.
But the top 5 is different than
Top 5 is
than
different.
number 20.
No, stop,
Florida
stop.
fell out the top 25 though. They weren't even that good. They lost 3 in a row, and I told you they weren't a good team. But you was going crazy, huh? SEC team.
I ain't go crazy. I just knew what was gonna happen. We beat them for the last
Stop
2
it. Go
years.
ahead, look at the camera and lie and say you didn't do it.
Hey, look. I was a little excited. But look. Hey, you trying to compare something that can't be compared? We beat a top 5 team. You're talking about,
top 5.
but listen, we're talking about Carolina basketball. Like if you would have had the argument last year, dang, we beat UCLA, we beat Kentucky, I'm like, okay, we beat UVA. But the saying y'all quality wins are from Stanford, Josh.
Do you know how hard it is to win on the road in college basketball? Vashti just said it.
See, it's another excuse on top of another excuse.
How's that an excuse? You she just said it on camera.
What did I
we're not
say?
being recorded. You said it's hard to win in college basketball on the road indefinitely.
I said, yeah.
That's
Period, though.
Exactly.
There's a lot of parity in college basketball right now.
And when you beat number 20
But the
Tennessee
thing
on the
is,
road,
we're talking about Carolina basketball.
And I don't know why we've been talking about them for so long, because they're not gonna get past the Sweet 16.
Stop it.
So I don't.
Ew.
They're not getting past the Sweet 16.
Stop. First of all, where's Florida State going?
Oh, we playing good ball right now.
No. I said, where y'all going?
Huh?
Where y'all going?
Hey, we probably go to the Sweet 16.
Stop.
That's the limit for us. I already know. Okay, we'll make it to the round of 60. If I'm
The
not
round
being
of 64.
if I'm not being biased, we're making a round of 64.
Y'all might not even make the CBI.
Don't.
I
disrespect
told
us.
you what was gonna happen.
Don't
Y'all
ever
got so
disrespect us.
excited when y'all beat Carolina, and now y'all lost 3 out of your last 4. Y'all not that good.
First of all,
That was our
everybody dropping.
championship game. Don't do it.
Everybody's dropping.
Florida State is not a bad team.
They're not.
No.
Florida
No,
basketball.
They got
Florida
shooters
State is
and they
not a
have
bad
cold
team.
nights. And what happened
They're
when
average.
Carolina came?
Y'all beat us
We
by
shot
1
y'all
point.
out the gym.
Shot us
We
out
let y'all
the
come
gym.
back. We let y'all come back.
So does a good team let a team come back?
Does Carolina let teams come back?
We win.
Okay, we win.
We win.
Here we go. Now we
We
modify.
win.
You
We
just
win.
said does a good team let teams come
With
back?
Carolina, we get everybody's best shot. Example A.
Oh,
so
look.
that's what I'm saying.
No,
Not-
y'all didn't get our best shot because they already had us winning.
Stop.
So
by 1 point, and y'all won by
it's
1
still
point.
a dub. If you look at a W to win column, whether it be 30 points or 1 point, it's still a
Every
dub.
year we go through this. And you already agree, so don't even lie and don't act different for the camera. I'm gonna say this to Vashti. Agree with me or not. Leonard Hamilton of Florida State for the past couple of years, they'll have a high ceiling. Everybody's saying they're the dark horse in the ACC, but they never live up to expectations. They'll make it to the NCAA tournament, get knocked out in the round of 32, won't even make it to the Sweet 16. But they'll have so much talent in the world, they just can't put it together every
We don't have talent this year. We don't.
Not the
I'm gonna look
talent
at
they
it.
had last
Not-
year.
We don't have
Y'all got talent, but not like
no.
last year.
We
Not
don't
like
have
last
the
year.
talent this year.
They
We
were
got a whole
talented
bunch of
last
guys right now is just playing together, a collective effort to be the best players they can be. But we don't have the talent. We had 3 guys that left for the NBA. You think about Xavier Mays, he's in the NBA G League, but still, hey, he was a great point guard in
Well,
college.
so is every North Carolina player.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I just
Hey,
hold on.
hey, where y'all point guards at? Where Marcus Page at?
Time out.
G
Where's-
League.
Time out.
He playing in
Time out.
Greensboro. though.
Exactly.
I guess you want to act different for the camera. We were just at the Hornets game in the locker room. Who was I interviewing?
Who?
Harrison Barnes. Where'd he play at?
First of all,
Wait, okay, come
Okay,
on, let's
hold-
stop. He's the last one though. That's a problem.
last one?
I think he's the
Who else
last
been balling for
lottery-
Carolina?
He's the last lottery
last
pick.
lottery
He's
pick?
the last lottery pick that Roy Williams has had.
and what year was that,
Harrison
Vashti?
Barnes.
What about 14?
That's
14?
yes.
14?
Check
Hey,
it.
last year when we won the national championship, there was a guy on the team by the name of Justin Jackson.
Did he go? Did he go?
Number 15
Did he go
overall.
lottery?
Yeah.
Is that lottery?
Number 14 is lottery.
He went which one?
He won 15.
Is that lottery?
That's one outside.
Oh.
Come on, y'all. Let's stop.
Hey, don't modify. Hey, don't modify.
What I'm
Hold on.
telling you is Carolina has a problem because they aren't able to wait.
Let her finish.
What people aren't addressing is the fact that this is Carolina, okay? Carolina is one of
Blue Bloods.
the Blue Bloods. It's Carolina, Duke, Kentucky. Like these are these UCLA, but not to me at this point now. Currently, it's Carolina, Duke, Kentucky. These are the meccas of college basketball. And Carolina has not been getting those top recruits. Now, we can make excuses for Carolina and say, oh, we don't want to get in that one and done, but that's BS.
Mm-hmm.
That's BS.
That's it.
What the same players that Duke has gotten, the same players that Kentucky has gotten, Roy Williams recruited also. So let's not front like they don't.
He
they don't want
won't
these good
giving out
guys.
offers.
That's number one. Number two, people aren't okay. That's one. The excuse was that we have these looming NCAA things over our heads. Okay, I don't think so. What I think the problem is that Coach K is putting out lottery players. Calipari is putting out lottery players. If I'm a top guy and I'm looking at these three coaches, I'm going to the one where I'm going to be able to make that money.
Mm-hmm.
And Roy Williams is not doing much but putting players in the G League.
That's it.
Let's look at it historically. Harrison Barnes, there's no excuse for a program of Carolina's caliber for their last lottery pick to be Harrison Barnes 35 years ago.
Mm.
Kimsey, get ready to zoom in. Zoom in on me.
Zoom in on hey, go ahead. He ready.
Everybody that's watching, this is all just follow me. It's Roy Williams' job to get lottery picks and win championships. Just stop right there. Just stop right there. Stop right there. 15 years Roy has been at UNC. 3 national championships. They're saying Roy can't produce talent, but we're the defending national champs. Okay. Back-to-back national championship appearances. Okay. All with subpar talent, I'm guessing.
Don't.
We didn't say that. We did not.
Hey, that's not what she said.
I did not.
That's not what she said.
I never said.
He twisting the narrative.
Carolina
He twisting the narrative.
Listen what they're saying. We're not getting the talent that Duke's getting. We're not getting the talent that Kentucky's getting. But yet, Roy has 3 national championships in the last 15 years.
How long the boys stand?
Most above anybody. What does that tell you? But yet, Roy's not a good coach.
What does that tell us?
Roy's not in their league.
What does that tell us?
Mind you, Tony Bradley, one and done. Oh, he wasn't ready. But that's y'all saying here, if they're a good player, they have to be one and done. Oh, but Tony Bradley.
Wait. Pause.
That's what y'all
because
saying.
Y'all gonna ride with this Tony Bradley thing, and I'm gonna need y'all to
saying.
stop, okay? Tony Bradley is probably the one and done that the first one that y'all have had in a while, okay? Wait, let me tell you this. Tony Bradley knew what his ceiling was, okay?
And he had to get up out of there.
Tony Bradley had to get up out of there, and I'm not mad at him.
Tony Bradley was an All-American that came to win a championship at Carolina, did that, and got the heck up out of there. That was the goal.
Where is he now?
He's with the Utah Jazz. He's not in the G League. I know you're
Boy,
trying to make a joke.
Call it out.
She wants to make a joke. No,
she about to pull it up. Hey, he better be on the active roster.
Look.
He better be on the active roster.
Then they say, oh, well, Carolina doesn't have a lottery pick. Well, Justin Jackson, number 15, but he's not number 14. Oh, okay. Then
is that a
that's not a lottery?
15
that's not a lottery, Josh.
What, is Roy Williams a recruiter for the NBA, or is he the head coach of North Carolina basketball?
Okay, I'm sorry, Josh. Tony Bradley is a basketball player for the Salt Lake City Stars of the NBA G League. On assignment from the Utah Jazz.
Oh my God.
He just got demoted.
Now,
he's been there for a minute.
Is Roy Williams a recruiter for the NBA, or is he the head coach?
Oh my gosh!
See, you missing the whole point. Vashti saying.
No. Is Roy answer the question?
Listen, the way. Listen,
recruiter for the Charlotte Hornets, or is his job to win national championship?
His job is to win a national championship. But listen,
who's the defending champ?
Listen, Josh. But the way college basketball is going, if you're not getting one and dones and getting top recruits, you're not going to win. It's sad that I look at this Carolina team. Listen, I'm looking at this Carolina team. It shouldn't have been that big of a drop-off in talent on that roster. It's a huge drop-off. It's bad.
You saying this, and we're the number 15th ranked team in the nation.
Oh, is that's what y'all look to be? Number 15.
I mean, I'm used to Carolina being top 10.
Listen. But I'm saying it. It's when I look on Carolina's roster and I look on this team, it is not talented.
That's y'all opinion.
No, it's not.
You look at ACC. Like, what do you? Listen, you guys. It's all about one and done. Clearly, that's the error.
No. See, you took what I
and
said
twisted the narrative.
You
twisting it up.
Don't change the narrative. What I'm saying is, it's a problem long term when Carolina is unable to get top recruits, and it's an issue that's not being addressed.
And think about it. Why is it not being addressed? Because Roy, with not getting the top recruits, just won the national championship.
Yeah, but guess what? Roy had Kennedy Meeks. Roy had
keep going.
Yeah, I know. Who was the other big guy next to him?
Isaiah Hicks, 4-year player.
Isaiah Hicks. So Roy had big guys up front, And that's been the staple of these championship North Carolina teams.
Mm-hmm.
Developing for you.
Who do they have now?
Luke May.
A guy that didn't even have a scholarship offer. He had to walk on to Carolina, and that's the best player y'all have in your team.
Virginia wanted Stephen Curry to walk on. So what are you saying?
No,
He's
we not. See, there you go. You went to Steph Curry. We talking about Carolina.
Here we go.
Hey,
so you hate white
I'm gonna ask. No, listen. Let me talk.
What?
You hate Caucasian.
That is not true. Y'all, please, Josh, you cannot say that.
Yeah.
What is your beef against Luke May?
I don't have beef against Luke May. I don't think he's not that athletic. I mean, he's a good player. I don't think he's talented enough to be a national
He's forced to score because there's no other scorers on that team.
Do you know who you sound like? You know who you sound like describing?
Who?
What people were saying about Tyler Hansborough and what happened with him.
Is you proud of Tyler Hansborough?
Hold on. Are we talking about the NBA? Or we talking about what he did in college basketball?
Hey, and I also want to say this too.
Hold on, no, answer the question.
Luke May is not as good as Tyler Hansborough
was. He's not, but he's doing a great job.
Why are you comparing them?
Because they're on the same scale right now.
No. Are you comparing them because they're two white boys? Because I'm talking about who plays better.
No, we're talking about
Tyler Hansborough was a better. Sorry. What?
You said unathletic.
I'm saying Tyler Hansborough was a better overall
basketball player in college. He was
than Luke May.
It took 4 years for him to get to his peak.
No, Tyler was good as a junior.
Yeah, at 3.
Tyler was good as a junior.
That's a fact. But the best Tyler Hansborough we saw was when we won the national championship.
Oh,
and that was his senior year. That's a
Luke
fact.
May is no Tyler Hansborough. Stop.
Yeah. Hey, I look
Luke
at
May, everybody. If Jay Billis and everybody's saying next year, his senior year, he's going to be the hands down. You even said it yourself. The hands down favorite for National Player of the Year. What does that tell you?
Hands down favorite?
No, it won't be hands down.
No.
I think he'll be in the running.
So Jay Billis is crazy for saying that.
I think he'll be in the running for it, but
Jay Billis is crazy. That's a dookie. He's crazy for saying that.
But listen, I think honestly right now, Carolina's program, it has to make some big time moves in this draft.
Every year.
If y'all don't, no, listen. I feel like right now, if y'all don't get Zion,
what?
That's gonna be the game changer for your program.
As we speak, regardless of Zion or not, we have the number 3 overall class in the nation.
Behind
with 2
who?
McDonald All-Americans.
Behind who?
Behind Kentucky and Duke.
Okay.
So, but who's the defending champs without doing that?
See, you can't bring that. That's the past, Josh.
We talking about listen. See, y'all switching the narrative.
We're talking about moving
y'all
forward.
Switching the narrative. Every year y'all do this whole Carolina's not getting the talent.
They aren't.
And we're still producing championships, whether ACC or national championships. What more do you want from Roy?
No, whatever.
Is he an NBA recruiter?
I'm not dogging Roy, but what I'm saying is that's a problem.
Why is
you
it a problem?
You cannot be a program of Carolina's caliber and not at least get 1 or 2 of these top guys.
But we are. Think about who just came in.
I think what Josh is thinking, he's hoping that Roy develop these guys so they can kind of have that same thing as Carolina, comes back up and win another national championship.
No,
like you're hoping Luke May comes and be this next coming to Tyler Hansborough.
It's not.
And
happening.
Jalik Felton comes out of nowhere and be this guard that he's supposed to be. And these guys, I'm looking at him, I say, they just don't got it.
First of all, it's
like
his first year.
If it weren't for Joel Berry and his heroics, I don't think this Carolina team will even be in the top 25.
Stop it.
They won't.
Stop it.
So, you know what I'm saying?
First of all, every year we do this. And Carolina, for the last 3 years, we've done this with Carolina. Final 4 appearance, lost off a buzzer beater to Villanova. Next year, we won the national championship. And y'all still saying the same thing about Roy. Roy can't do this.
That's a different era of basketball then.
He's a bad.
It's a different era
of basketball.
Guys are going towards more one and done and coaches. Why do you think?
How is that a different era? But that was just last year.
It's because everything progresses.
Y'all switching, bro.
Listen, I'm sitting there. Listen to me, Josh. If you look at Coach K, he had to switch his coaching style up and his recruiting style up. Why? Because he knew the way college basketball was going.
Did that in 2013.
Do you think these top recruits care about winning national championships like that as much?
Nigga, yes. Yes, what you go. That's the point.
No.
That's the point.
A lot of guys don't go to college.
Do you think they care more about winning a championship or more going lottery?
Of course, going lottery. They're going to do that. If you're good, you're going to do that regardless.
Not necessarily.
No. You can stay too long and mess yourself up.
Marcus Page messed himself up.
Marcus Page messed himself up.
First of all, Marcus Page was never a one and done. Stop it.
No, he wasn't a one and done, but he should have left after his sophomore year. He declined.
He wanted to stay to play for Roy.
Oh my God!
Hold on. And we're gonna end it.
No. I'll tell you a true story. This is a fact, because I can understand y'all have a thing against Carolina. This is a true fact.
No, we don't.
Harrison Barnes, after his freshman year at Carolina, was supposed to go number 3 overall. Could have easily went number 3 overall after Kyrie and after Derek Williams. He stayed because he said he wanted to come back, develop, and play for Roy. What is so bad about that? If commit says that.
Look,
what is so bad?
I just hold on. No. This is what let's end this topic right here, Josh. You said right now you got on record Carolina's gonna either do Elite 8 or better. Is that correct?
Elite 8 or better.
Are y'all gonna win the ACC championship regular season?
No. I think we can win the ACC regular
season.
No,
are y'all gonna win? That's a yes or no.
Can you?
If it's not us, it's UVA.
Okay, and as far as the ACC tournament, do you think y'all guys gonna win that?
Yeah, I think we can win the ACC.
Okay, it's on record. It's on record.
Hold on, who do you think? You put it on record too. What do you
right
think?
Now,
and don't
honestly,
say Florida State. Don't you play yourself.
No. I'm not gonna. Hey, I already know right now we don't close, Will, so that's not gonna happen. So I have Duke winning the ACC championship regular season. And for the tournament time, honestly, I don't know who. I feel like the ACC is going to be a toss-up. There's so many great teams, and anybody that catch, they win towards the end of the regular season. I don't know.
Is Florida State a factor?
I'm not being biased. I'm talking just regular sports.
Okay,
you bring in favorite teams. I'm not bringing that. I'm just telling you what I think. And far as the NCAA tournament, honestly, God's opinion, I think it's going to be Michigan State. It's going to be Duke. It's gonna be. I want to say Kentucky coming in, but I don't think they have the firepower for it. But I got Kentucky, and then the 4th team, I don't know who's gonna be. I got Kentucky because a lot of those they have a great talented team with a lot of young guys, and I think the way they're playing towards the end of the season is gonna help them out. The 4th team, I don't know. I think it's gonna be somebody out the blue, but I really do think Michigan State right now with the veterans they have on that team. It's going to help them. And, they're always a great, like I said, tournament team. But I really don't think right now you can say in this college basketball season who's going to be there. But I just feel like you can definitely tell who's going to be in the Elite 8, Final 4. But it's certain teams I don't think that's going to be there. But
this is one of Kentucky's worst teams in John Calipari's history.
I think they're going to get right. I really do.
I think Kentucky has time.
They have time
to catch their wind. I think Virginia is going to win the ACC regular season.
That's a good pick.
And I think Duke is going to win the tournament.
Do you think Kentucky's better than Carolina right now?
No.
Okay. Do you?
Wait, let me modify this. Kentucky has better talent. But if we're looking at a game, who would I pick to win the game? I'm going to see, you think I'm all anti-Carolina. I cover Carolina. So I'm not just talking, I'm just not taking this stuff off of the top of my head.
What Carolina Blitz is to Duke basketball, that's what Fox News is to the Republican Party. I'm saying it right now.
I know he's not going to invite me on this podcast and insult me.
I'm doing it right now. She hate Carolina.
No, I don't. I actually love covering Carolina. I like Carolina. I like their players. I like Roy and his little smiles he gives me in the press conferences. I like covering Carolina. I like covering Carolina. I respect the program. I respect the team. But I'm going to tell you like it is. Period. No bias.
So who has been the best team over the last 3 years?
Oh, okay. We're just gonna use that tight ass window.
5 years. Okay, 5 years. It's still Carolina.
Look, man. Let's go ahead and talk about this NFL playoff. Let's get to it, because I said, this Carolina,
prediction for Zion right quick.
Yeah.
Just on cam, so we get on cam.
I don't know. I really don't know where Zion is gonna go. He's been pretty tight-lipped. A couple of things that I noticed before he really blew up, and I don't know. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say it. So when people started watching him, I always go to people's social media because to me that says a lot about who the person is. So I guess he was dating this chick that went to Spartanburg Day with him, and the chick had very close ties to Duke. So at that time I was like, okay, well, and he posted pictures, Coach K and stuff. So at that time I thought he was leaning toward Duke. I had another source that told me he might be trying to stay in state and like kind of become like that guy. Yeah. So I can see that also. I don't know if he's going to Carolina. I can't really pick, man. I really can't pick. I don't know where he's gonna go.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought he was going to Clemson because I heard the same thing about this in-state thing. He wants to be the guy or whatever. I was like, why Clemson? But a lot of sources, and it's right before the day of, are saying that of course we all know his best friends are Nasir Little, Carolina commit, Jalik Felton, Carolina player, and Seventh Woods, Carolina player. All South Carolina guys. So everybody's saying that his family's ready. Supposedly he bought some Carolina gear. Like people saw him in the store. One of his aunts buying the Carolina gear in the store for like the hat little thing. I don't know. I'm just going off of that. And of course,
who said that?
Oh, this is on what's it called? The Tar Heel thing on
on a Tar Heel blog. Okay.
Yeah, 24/7. Mind you, if Zion Williams commit, y'all know you're gonna be thinking of me. We having you back the first thing if he comes to Carolina.
I honestly don't think he's gonna go to Carolina either. The reason why I think I don't feel like he's gonna want to stay 2 or 3 or 4 years.
What?
And honestly, I think he's a one and done. And the way Roy is, I don't feel like Roy really doesn't want one and dones right now. I think he want to develop his players to try to win national championship, not get guys straight out 1 year. So honestly, I think it's either going to be, in my opinion, I think it's going to be Duke, and then my boy Duel, he said something in him telling Kansas for some reason.
He's saying that because he wear Adidas clothes. That's
but at the same time, the AAU circuit is tight too as well. A lot of kids do that. They stay with their brand. So I think either Duke or Kansas. And like I said, he very well can go to Clemson. But I think those are the 3 teams I got: Duke, then I got Kansas, then Clemson.
Gosh, I just drew a blank. Darn, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
It's all good.
Look, I mean, we got to end it on this. I just want to let the people know. A lot of times, everybody, y'all love saying Q Kelly's a poet. Your good friend Sheena Quick came on here and said, "Oh, he's a poet."
Who's a poet?
The way, Q Kelly, saying the way he breaks down stuff.
He is. He's good.
But it's funny how 95% of stuff we argue about, who's always right. To be honest, you're on camera, so you can't lie.
The only time we argue about it's about Carolina sports.
No.
It's about Alabama versus somebody. Look, like I said, a lot of times.
You was on the show when I said Alabama was going to win national championship.
Yeah, okay. And like I said, that was a great prediction by you. And honestly, what Nick Saban did is something no coach would have ever done.
That was
so. Like I said, that was hard.
That took big cojones.
You're right.
No coach would have ever
big
thought
cojones.
The bench your starting quarterback that got you there.
Right. That's a bold move. I'm not gonna lie.
And put a freshman in that had no meaningful playing time in the national championship, one of the hardest. Defense, the best defense they went against. Honestly, besides Florida State, the best defense they went against. And
that was bold.
The way he went out there and balled, nobody expected that.
No.
I think Georgia lost it more than anything, but that play call, that QB switch will go down to one of the best coaching decisions ever.
Yeah, Damo said he called it.
My brother called it. He said they need to go ahead and put that boy in from Hawaii. I'm like, what?
Really?
Boy? He called it. He called it in the first quarter. In the first quarter, he said they need to put this boy in from Hawaii, man. He can throw that thing. Jalen Hurts, man, he don't know how to read the field. This guy can read the field, and like I said, he make great, quick decisions. He got a big arm. And I'm like, man, sit in the corner. That's what I told him. And he made that decision. He drove them boys down the field and scored. And he kept trying to, I told you. So it's definitely one of those things where nobody thought Nick Saban was going to do that. But that was make him, I think, the best college football coach ever.
And that's why I told you, college football, that coaching brings you a long way.
Yeah.
It brings you a long way. But we're going to end it on this. Like you said, NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
I want a prediction of who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Score and the winner, Super Bowl winner.
Score and winner?
That's tough.
We gotta go in.
Huh. I mean, God forbid we have to see Minnesota and Jacksonville. It's tough because I like Jacksonville. I like that defense. I like their whole swag.
Seahawks, 2012, 13.
That's tough. All right, so I'm gonna go with Eagles, and it's hard. It's really hard to bet against Tom Brady in January, February. My heart is telling me Jaguars, but my money would be on Tom Brady. So I guess definitive. If I had to make a decision, I'm gonna go Philly, New England. New England to win.
Yeah, no,
Unfortunately,
it hurts you to say that. I look at it hurts you to say that.
Hey, look.
And I probably say score like 34-24.
I hate saying it, but great minds think alike. Philly, New England, Super Bowl. New England wins it. Tom Brady, another Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the same score, or around the same score, 35-27, New England.
Yeah, and I'm a third that because I look at the first game. You can look at Minnesota and Philadelphia Eagles, and I just feel like Philadelphia Eagles got some dogs out there, and Case Keenum ain't seen that before, and I feel like they were lucky to win that game last week against New Orleans Saints. So they weren't supposed to be there. We all know that. And the way the Eagles played, they play stifling defense, and I think their offense is a little bit more explosive than the Vikings' offenses as well. And I think I'll take Nick Foles over Case Keenum, even though Case Keenum statistically is having a better year. But you going against those corners and DBs of the Eagles, it's going to be a tough night, and plus that defensive front. And then when you look at just the Patriots and you look at the Patriots and you look at the Jaguars. When the Patriots had to go against the Seahawks back in 2012-13, when they were saying that was the best defense ever, and Tom Brady in the fourth quarter, I think it was 24-14, went back, picked them apart. And I think he's going to do the same thing to these guys this year. And with your offense, with Blake Bortles, nah, it's not going to happen. You know, I feel like they don't have a lot of explosive pieces when you go against that Patriots defense as well. So Tom over Blake Bortles. You got Bill Belichick over I don't even know who the Jacksonville Jaguars coach is. So I think it's just a no-brainer, and I also got the Patriots winning. You can't go against Tom and Bill Belichick, you know, in February. So it's to me, it's very simple, you know.
Definitely. Give me your social media before we head out.
Social media, at Vashti Hurt on Twitter and at Carolina Blitz on Instagram. And what Josh said is not true, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Carolina Blitz is a website, and we love all Carolina sports.
That's right. All colors matter.
And you call it the Duke Blitz. That's what I'm saying.
You're such a
all
hater.
colors matter.
But I appreciate that. You know, it's great debate. We love going back and forth. Like I said, it's going to be a jam-packed Saturday.
It is.
Zion Williams decision, a lot of good college basketball. And then, of course, we got the NFC championship games, and NFC and AFC on Sunday. But no boundaries. Vashti Hurt, Carolina Blitz.
Yes, sir.
Chris Joseph Films, Damo in the cut.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, Q Kelly,
Already.
the man with the plan. Salute. We out.